So I just got back from church and a few things came to my mind, right? So I noticed that there's a lot of turmoil amongst Christians right now online. One, I think that's kind of sad, but it's not surprising because Christians are humans, right? We are humans, and humans are going to emote. And a lot of the ranting that I see happening on the internet is basically just that, catharsis. And why do we do that? Well, for a few reasons. Number one, that's what social media actually is designed for and benefits from. It's designed for us to be hyper emotional. It's designed to make us hyper emotional. And if you don't see that that's what it's designed for, and sometimes even if you do, you'll fall right in the trap. You'll fall right in the trap. Your algorithm is full of things to distract and discourage you and to make you afraid, because people who created these algorithms understand that we spend more time looking at things that are negative than we do things that are positive. So a challenge that I have for us is to, number one, ask ourselves, but did you pray? Did you pray about whatever it is you about to snap about? Before you snap, did you pray? And if you prayed, did God say it's okay to snap? I'm going to start posting things more specifically towards Christians. Another thing that people don't realize about the internet when they're getting upset is that no one physically on here has enough power to be our ultimate enemy. Now, that doesn't mean they can't be used by the enemy, just like they can't be used by God, you know? But we have to remember who our ultimate enemy is. And that means being honest with ourselves. And sometimes it's cognitive dissonance that keeps us from recognizing certain things. We hold these two opposite thoughts at the same time, and we refuse to reconcile them because of what it'll mean for us. I'll give a few examples in a second. And then other times we have to understand nuance. And if you are someone who is extremely fundamentalist and sees life as black and white, you're going to struggle with that, and it probably is going to impact your witness. So I'll give you an example. I believe, and this is just me being transparent, I believe that the same Imago Dei denying demon, spirit, devil, whatever, that was behind slavery is also behind the othering of people right now, both inside and outside of the womb. So, let me say that again. The same Imago Dei denying demon, and for those who don't know, the same one that denies the fact that we all are created in the image of God, was behind slavery, is behind the othering of people, be they immigrants or people you disagree with, be they Cowboys fans, right? Sorry, or from New Jersey, whatever. But they too are created in the Imago Dei, and so are those in the womb. Now, I know that that's going to grate against everybody's skin. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people's skin. Because on one hand, we're like to say, yes, fight for those who can't fight for themselves. And the ones who can't fight for themselves the most are the ones in the womb. I agree. I am pro-life. And being pro-life makes me pro-whole life and also pro-grace. Because I understand that God is a God of understanding, and he's also a God of justice. So justice and mercy he holds. So in understanding that, I'm going to look at other people through a holy lens as I understand the scriptures, and also know that they may not see it how I see it. And then wrestle that out in love, in truth, and fervently. And that's where we kind of go left. Because we tend to think that where we're burdened is the main place to be burdened. And we don't call out the sin of the people that kind of have the same burden as us. So if you're on the I'm pro-justice side, right? Like, and I mean like social justice. You may not be calling out the sin of not seeing the Imago Dei of children in the womb. You just make that you may be like, no, it's about her choice. Okay, I'm not saying it ain't. But that's a child in that womb. Now, you can wrestle with that between you and the Lord. And then, for those who are like, I'm all for fighting for the children in the womb and the family. So you can understand the systems that come against the child in the womb and the family, but you can't understand the systems that come up against people outside of the womb. All of a sudden, injustice, specifically otherisms, all kinds of racisms and all this other stuff, they don't exist no more. Not in the system. It's all personal. And then we move the goalposts. And this is an example of how we move the goalposts. When it comes to something that is personal for us, like for instance, if I'm someone that is a conservative and I believe I've strived hard. If I showed y'all my apartment, I'm not, by God's grace, he is keeping me, right? I have people that support me. I have employment. Boom. He is keeping me, right? I'm not struggling by God's grace, right? So if I'm a conservative and someone would say, the system is rigged, it's unjust, I would take their example and falsely apply it to me and say, well, if that's not the case for me, then that shouldn't be the case for other people, right? But you see how I took a system and then made it personal. So I moved the goalposts. But when it comes to the topic of abortion and someone is talking to me, even though I myself have not had an abortion, I will talk about the systems that are in place, the system of the family, and the system. Hold up. They're talking about something personal. You see how I switched it then? That's what we do when we are challenged in an area that is not the area that we're burdened with. So, again, Christians, did you pray about it first? Did you pray about it? Secondly, are you being honest about where your side is hypocritical or walking in cognitive dissonance? And then thirdly, are you really loving God and loving your neighbor as yourself? Like, this is exposing us. The stuff that's going on in the world is exposing us. And in all honesty, I'm going to say a number of things that's going to make everybody upset. Like I said, I already said it. I think that the same Imago Dei denying spirit that was behind slavery and is still behind injustice and the othering of people is also behind the killing of people, babies in the womb. That is going to piss everybody off, depending on how hard you lean left or right. But it is what it is. And I have scripture to appropriately apply to that. Now, does that mean that I agree that we should allow evil people the ability to tell women what to do? No, I don't. And it also doesn't mean that I think that humans who have the ability to carry humans, women, females, should conveniently take that life that's inside of them because they have their ability. No, I don't think it's that simple of an answer. I really don't. I don't. And that's me. And I'm okay to have discussions with people about this. So, with that having been said, as I always say, love God, love your neighbor, and take care of yourself. Stay out the comment section. All right? Did you pray about it? Are you being honest about your side? And are you loving God and loving your neighbor? Don't forget to take care of yourself too. Peace. Oh, go Birds.